Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. We live and loud, they're great in the mud. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Welcome to our edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, broski. Oh, look, Fred was here before the credits started. Good morning, Fred. And hey, good morning, New York. You have a new head coach that we're not going to spend the whole show talking about.
Oh, my.
Well, welcome to the New York Giants, a Harbaugh. Go figure. It happened. Sorry, Packer fans. You're trading LaFleur away because you're signing Harbaugh. Tinfoil hat conspiracies just went out the window. He is now a New York Giant.
Oh, no. I was 50-50 on it anyway, so
Yeah,
whichever happened, I was okay with.
Morning, Snoop. So, yeah, Harbaugh, the first coach of the fall. You know, it was funny because we were doing roundtable last night, and they were meowing because they were missing Kitty Ken. But anywho,
They've got a weird obsession, don't they?
well, they're Lions fans, so I mean, come on.
Yeah,
But it was funny because we're like, usually we should have a coach signing by now. And then what happens last night after we got off air? Oh, they're finalizing the deal. So, hey, first coach is off the board. Anyone surprised?
not really, because that's what we heard most of the strongest rumors were to him towards the Giants. The Giants had major interest in him. He had major interest in them. That does not. Hi there, Joe. What's with the face already?
Oh, dude, I was remembering this time I trolled Nick. Like, it was like the most excellent troll. And you ever like just bust out laughing at something? Like, that's what happened. I couldn't control it. It was one of the best trolls ever, dude.
Okay, now you got to share with the class.
It's kind of racially insensitive.
Oh, okay. You can share with the class after the show.
Because Nick is native, and he loves the fact that he's native.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you would
Native to
appreciate
where?
me sharing that with the world.
Yeah. We'll save that one.
And he's my buddy, so
Yeah, Nick's a good dude.
yeah. So what are we talking about?
We're talking about Harbaugh.
is now a Giant.
Yeah. Well, I read did they finalize the deal? Because I read yesterday that it wasn't finalized, but that it was a pretty much a sure thing.
Yeah, overnight they pretty much signed the contract. The last I heard, they were just waiting on Harbaugh, but from what I know, the deal's done.
For all intents and purposes, it's done. Unless something stupid happens, this is what's going to happen. So that means now Stefanski's the last big name up from this year's firing.
Well, I mean, you still got Mike McDaniel.
McDaniels, yeah, I was about to catch myself with that. But I mean, Stefanski's probably I don't know if he's the bigger prize, but those are the two big prizes left. You figure one might end up in Atlanta, one might end up in Vegas. I don't know.
I'm hearing a lot of rumors of Mike McDaniel to Cleveland.
I mean, I like that. I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have a shit ton of draft capital. Like if anybody could do something with Shedeur Sanders, he could, because look what he did with Tua. And Tua had similar problems to Shedeur, like lots of interceptions, right? Like, I don't know.
And let's not forget, one of the major knocks against him was, his Dolphins had a shitty defense. He don't got to worry about that in Cleveland.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the most attractive part right there. He's like, oh, I get to go have Myles Garrett. I don't have to build a defense. All I got to do is focus on the offense. I'm sold.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. I mean, these new coaching hires will be interesting. Maybe we'll see if we get another one before Saturday's games, if we get one tonight. But Harbaugh, look at the Harbaugh move to New York. It makes some sense, but look at they got a guy who tries to run through brick walls and a running back, which Harbaugh is going to love that. He's got a young quarterback who's not much different from Lamar in a lot of ways with the running ability. He's got a good, and he's got something he didn't have really
In
much
Baltimore.
of in Baltimore.
An elite wide receiver.
Yeah, he's got like a really good receiver. He's got a good defensive base to work with.
Mhm.
They underperformed this year, but dude, they got some players on defense.
And their offensive line isn't that bad either, because remember how Scatabo was running in the beginning of the season. Like they were run blocking pretty well for him.
So, and I'm sure Harbaugh is going to bring, any coach he wants with them is going to join them. So they're going to have probably a pretty good coaching staff in New York. This could be the stabilization New York the Giants have been craving
Mm-hmm.
the last decade.
Yeah. You have to think it's like this is a coup for the New York Giants, dude.
You sign any of the Harbaughs, right? I mean, like, look at they're long-term kind of guys. Both of them have been, no matter where they go. Whether his brother was with San Francisco for what 5-7 years before going on to Michigan, going there 5-7 years. Now, I mean, these guys they stick. They leave when they're ready to leave for the most part. And like, okay, but he was fired from Baltimore after 18 years. And
I think John is also more steady than Jim, because Jim actually is the one that leaves after 5-7 years. John's he's got that long tenor,
yeah, he's moving like a whole 4 or 5 hours up the road now to New Jersey.
Yeah,
not a big move for the family.
Is there any details about the length of the contract?
No, not yet. We'll probably get them tomorrow.
I think I heard something about it being 5 year or something like that.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I mean that's probably the standard fare. Lengthwise.
Yeah, and make him one of the highest paid head coaches, which he already assumed.
I mean, and it's funny because like if you're a Ravens fan, you wake up this morning like we've just fired the guy like a week and a half ago, and already he's got this big, massive deal in New York. You always have to wonder, did we make a mistake? And I'll say this: yes, you did, but no, you didn't. Yes, you did because he's a really great coach. No, you didn't because he was there for 18 years and maybe a change of scenery for both.
Okay.
Well, it reminds me of when the Giants hired Tom Coughlin. So it was like, he had a nice run with Jacksonville. Didn't win a Super Bowl, but had a nice run, especially considering it was like a new franchise. And yeah, exactly. And went to the Giants and just became legendary. Now Harbaugh, man, if that happens with him in New York and he can take them and build that franchise back to respectability and challenge for compete for a Super Bowl, that's bad news for the rest of the division right there.
Well, and it'll solidify him as a Hall of Fame head coach too.
So has any head coach won a Super Bowl with two different franchises?
Yeah, away. I'm trying to.
I will double check that right now, but I want the initial gut reaction is yeah.
I don't know.
What was your question, Joe?
Has any head coach won a Super Bowl with two different franchises? I don't think so. Just like quarterbacks, Tom Brady was the only one.
No, they have.
No, I want to say there's a yes there. Oh, actually, no.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Harbaugh has a chance to be in.
Reached it with the Colts, lost Super Bowl III, but won twice with Miami. Vermeil reached it with the Philadelphia Eagles and lost, but then won with the Rams. Holmgren won it with the Packers,
but lost with the Seahawks.
Yeah, Schottenheimer's another guy too to throw out there, but he never won.
Twice with the Giants, but lost with the Pats. And Andy Reid reached it with the Eagles, but won multiple with Kansas City. Dan Reeves and John Fox have also reached Super Bowl with two teams, but without winning.
No, it wasn't Dungy because John Gruden came in and took his Super Bowl.
Mm.
Yeah.
So he has a chance to be in rarefied air, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Harbaugh, you have it like because this makes the Giants a better team. Like
Now look at
they were
now,
already
hold
on the kind of on the rise. Like I know their record didn't really show it, but they had a lot of injuries to their key players
And
this
they played
season.
a lot of
So,
close games.
that record could fall this year though. It could fall this year, but that's if the Broncos win the Super Bowl. Because if the Broncos win the Super Bowl this year,
Sean Payton be
Payton
the
will
first
have
one to do it. Yep.
be the first one to do it. Yeah, and remember, hey, Fred, remember the other thing with that game? Not only was he puking on the side of the field, but T.O. had a broken leg and came back.
Oh no, and not on the side of the field, in the huddle.
Yeah,
Because he went out and partied all freaking night.
The T.O. had a broken leg.
Yeah. Yes, T.O. had a broken leg, but T.O. played outstanding with that broken
with
leg.
a broken leg. Yeah.
So I won't even count that one as a negative. That was shit. He had a broken leg and he decided that he was
Crazy.
going to run out and play.
No,
fucking
that
Terminator.
actually was what won him my respect. Like that was like, man, like I wasn't a huge fan of T.O. before that, but I was like, dude, you have a titanium plate in your leg and you go out there and a fresh titanium plate in your leg and you go out there and put up 11 catches for 135 yards in the Super Bowl. Like, okay,
I mean,
you're prime time, dude. Like,
Yep.
If Harbaugh gets to the Super Bowl with the Giants, he still just joins a club that includes Don Shula, Dick Vermeil, Mike Holmgren, Bill Parcells, and Andy Reid. I mean, that's in itself, and that's those are the coaches who've won with one team and reached it with the second team.
Yep.
who did Bill
That's rare.
Parcells? Bill Parcells. So was it with the?
He lost with the Pats, Super Bowl 31. That itself, I mean, dude, that's rare air too. And then you've got guys like Dan Reeves, John Fox, who've been to the Super Bowl with two teams, but without getting the dual win. I mean, dude, that's like rare air, nonetheless. I mean, I think Harbaugh might be a Hall of Fame coach already, but that would solidify it. So, yeah, there was our coaching news the NFL tried to sideline our playoff football talk with.
Let's get into the playoff football talk.
Let's please.
Real quick before we get to that,
Yeah.
the Texans rookie defensive back, Jalen Reed, just got carjacked last night in front of his home
Oh, interesting.
by
Where?
three armed dudes.
In Houston?
Oh, yeah, probably.
I think so. It's at least in Texas. I don't know if it's
In the
Houston.
Houston
Alright.
area. That's crazy. I wonder how that's going to affect them for the game Sunday. Probably not much at all, but it could.
It's insured.
Oh, yeah, that's still insane.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got three dudes coming up on you,
Look,
you ripping you.
like Joe Burrow was going to buy the Batmobile.
Mhm.
And then after someone broke into his house when they were on a road game, he decided not to buy the Batmobile because of the security piece. I mean, these guys make stupid money, and Joe Burrow has said it himself. They asked him this year, Joe, why are you coming back this season? He's like, because I get paid stupid amount of money to play a kid's game, and I really love to play, which gives me even that much more respect for Joe Burrow. And yeah, the guy knows he makes stupid money. He's like, if he wants to go buy the Batmobile, dude, go buy the Batmobile.
I think he should still buy it, but just hire a whole bunch of extra armed security.
But
I mean, let's be honest. Joe Burrow has the money to hire Batman to protect the Batmobile for him.
He probably does. But then again, rookie on a rookie deal, people make the assumption that he's got Joe Burrow money. No, partner. I mean, if he's an early first-round pick, yeah, he's got millions of dollars. But he doesn't have Joe Burrow money. I mean, they've still got money. Here's the thing, though. I always thought this was funny. There's a dichotomy with two linebackers. Let me do it this way. Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher. You know what the difference between the two of them was? Besides the paycheck and the Hall of Fame? Brian Urlacher drove an old like 1972 Ford truck. How do I know this? Because I sat there at Toys R Us with Brian buying gifts each of us were buying gifts for our boys, our kids. And then after we bought our gifts, we walked outside, we were talking. I went to my car. He went to his truck. We were actually parked right next to each other. Go figure. And he gets in an old Ford pickup truck or an old pickup truck. Lance Briggs famously left his Lamborghini on the interstate in Chicago one night after he spun out. Right? So here's Urlacher with the big contract back in the day, driving just a regular old Ford pickup truck. And then there's Lance Briggs in a $350,000 supercar.
And just leaves it.
And it just leaves it. But the thing is, that's what these guys tend to do, is be more like Lance Briggs than Brian Urlacher in terms of vehicle, right? A lot of these guys buy expensive cars and flash the cash. Because, and I get it. You got money. You're going to flash the cash a little bit. You're going to buy nice things. But then you get the other ones like, yeah, just buy a regular car. You know, I mean, look at Justin Jefferson up. I don't know where he's living now, but when they shot receiver, was living in a townhome in Minneapolis. Or the best one is Kirk Cousins. You got to love the dude. The dude's made more money than God in the NFL. Buys a normal single family home and drives a freaking minivan.
Well, I think that's because his wife told him that's what you're buying.
Well, now he's got a G-Wagon, which isn't unusual though. He's got like a G-Wagon anyone would have, right? So I mean, some of these guys, man, need to learn, man. You know, you flash the cash, you become a target, and the cops aren't protecting you 24/7 because you're a football player. You know. Yeah,
Oh, that's why you got to hire. That's why you got to hire your own private security force.
My motto is never leave home without it.
There you go, broski.
Yeah, JB. I know what they have in common. They're all on the couch this weekend watching the Bears game. That's what they have in common. They're not in the playoffs.
Speaking of the playoffs,
Yeah,
I don't think we have to worry about Denver winning the Super Bowl, but I mean, I've been wrong before.
Let's hit up the Saturday games real quick in the divisional championship. But now, this is what's great is we got one AFC, one NFC game this weekend on Saturday, and then Sunday is the same. So for Saturday, we're going to talk about the Saturday games today. We'll talk about the Sunday games tomorrow. I think that's fair. So the Bears game we'll talk tomorrow. The first game at 3:30 p.m. So the normal, second game time slot. We got the Buffalo Bills at 12-5 going to the Denver Broncos at 14-3, the 6th seed to the 1 seed. That's at 3:30 p.m. It's going to be on CBS, so you can watch it on your regular TV. The temperature is going to be really nice and mile high, 42.8. I love the accuracy of which the NFL website does it. It's going to be 42.8 degrees Fahrenheit at game time. The 0.8 degrees is very important.
Yeah. Yes, because that 0.2 difference matters a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah. So roughly, it's going to be in the low 40s at game time, which for a game in January in Denver, you're going, huh. Now, look at JB says, yeah, but Denver at home is brutal on opposing teams. I don't think it's going to affect this team in terms of weather, coldness, snow. It's Buffalo, dude. These are the guys who have to have their fans come in a day and a half in advance to try to shovel out the stadium to play a game. So wind chill, wind, not an issue. Altitude, that's the issue. And the cold will exacerbate that a little bit, right? Because Buffalo pretty much at sea level, right? What's Buffalo sea level wise? Probably like 100 feet above sea level. Let me see. What is Buffalo sea level? I bet it can't be that high. Obviously not a mile high.
No.
Okay, 600 feet above sea level in Buffalo, roughly. And Denver is obviously a lot higher than that. So okay, that could have an impact, right? And JB's correct there, right? Because teams get gassed. But look at these guys are smart too. They're gonna have the oxygen tanks on the sideline. I mean, it's not like we don't have technology and oxygen tanks anymore. This is gonna be a good game. Broski, what's your take on this game, man?
On which one?
So we're talking Bills Broncos.
Okay, yeah, Bills Broncos. I mean, this is the thing. So the Bills aren't known for winning on the road in the playoffs. They finally, broke that trend when they won in Jacksonville. Denver's a better team than Jacksonville. Denver's a more difficult place to play than Jacksonville. I don't know, man. I really kind of think it's going to catch up to Buffalo. I think Denver wins this game, and I think they win by 10 points.
What do you think, Joe?
I mean, Broski makes some valid points, but I just think Superman does Superman things, dude. Like Josh Allen, he puts on his cape at the most appropriate times, and I'm not sold on like Bo Nix. He doesn't impress me all that much, if I'm being honest. Like he's gotten better, and he works well within the offense, but he also makes some stupid decisions at times, and I don't know. I'm going based purely off of playoff experience, and Josh Allen gets up for the biggest games, dude, and so I just feel like the Bills are gonna win.
So the win probability on MSN, I get through my web browser. Right now is the Bills 48.5%, the Broncos 51.5%, and fan voting it's 60-40 to the Bills. So people think this will be a close game. I kind of agree with Joe's piece about Superman doing Superman things, and Josh Allen is Superman. Look at they. Hold on, let's see. Just keep a spy on Allen the entire game and force Cook to beat you for 4 quarters. I mean that's actually a good strategy, right? Because JB was saying people run out of gas. Ivan's got a good strategy there. I think it's a close game, but like Denver to me, man, like I remember the Giants game. The Giants came out and they were all over Denver early and took that big lead and took a big comeback in the 4th, right? Look at Buffalo's better than the Giants. This is not this is going to be one of those nail biter games at the end. Is it that Buffalo runs out of gas in the 4th and that's how Denver wins this game? Maybe. I like Buffalo in this game. I like Josh Allen. I think, I don't think he's not prone to the mistakes like Bo Nix is, though. That's the other thing, though, Joe. Dude, Superman throws some interceptions. They're going to get swept under the rug a little bit because he wears a cape. But, more Mo picks, Bo Nix. Bo Nix, Mo picks, however you want to say that, has got that for a reason, too.
Yeah, but you could ask the Packers how that game went. They made Bo Nix look like John Elway 2.0 that game.
Damn.
So that's kind of how I see this game going. Like I think it'll be close for 3 quarters, and I just think the Bills' lack of offensive firepower is going to catch up to them. Denver's D is going to take over, and Denver pulls away in the 4th quarter.
That's what I'm worrying about here, Broski, because we have seen Josh Allen not look like the usual superhuman Josh Allen. We've seen him look just human at different points during this season. He's had a couple of games where he cost his team the game. But granted, he has given them a lot with a lot of wins. And as soon as he gets going, it gets that whole team rallied behind him, and they play a hell of a lot better as a team once Josh Allen is going. But with that Denver defense, it's going to be a real tough one. But give me Buffalo by 3. Real close.
Also,
I'm just wondering how their second-year wide receiver, who I love this press conference, he's had an off year. I wonder if he comes up in this game.
If who comes up in this game?
Coleman.
Yeah.
I hope so for him because I really liked him a lot last year.
I mean, if he has a game like he played in some of the games last year, if look at the altitude for him isn't as much of a factor because he played a lot of college ball out there. If he has a game for Josh, I mean, this game could flip easily for Buffalo.
I also not to be like overly dramatic about it, but narratives also have their place. And the narrative around Josh Allen is that he can't win the big one. Here you finally have the opportunity without Patrick Mahomes, without Joe Burrow. You're never going to have a better shot at the Super Bowl, most likely, dude. Right? So it's like you have to think that that's kicking around in Josh Allen's head. Like, and pressure motivates some people. Like, I don't know. That's why I say the Superman thing, because I think that Josh Allen realizes this is his best shot. And if he doesn't take advantage of it, he might never win the big one, dude. And so
Buffalo needs to sustain long drives, wear down that Denver defense. That's what they need to do. If they can have long drives, if the quick score Buffalo does not work for this game. It's got to be slow score Buffalo. Prolonged, measured drives, keeping that defense on the field. Because look at Buffalo's defense isn't exactly the best defense in the AFC. And if I look at the war of attrition, Buffalo loses the war of attrition. You know what I'm saying? Because their defense already is not as good as Denver's.
and also Denver isn't really a quick strike team either. Denver is a long drive team. So
yeah,
I tend to agree with you. I think Buffalo cannot have Bo Nix out there for 10 minutes a quarter, like just chipping away, because by the fourth quarter, they're going to be gassed, dude.
Yep. So Buffalo needs to, if they can, take the ball and just hold it as long as they can in lots of run game.
Well, I was going to say with how good their run game is between Allen and Cook, I have no doubts that they can pull that off. Because as quietly as it's been kept, Cook has been one of the absolute best runners this year.
Well, that's why I got that nice contract at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's a good way to start off the divisional weekend. I mean, this definitely shouldn't be a blowout. This should be a really good knock them down, drag them out, decided in the fourth quarter kind of game.
But I could see what Broski's saying too. Like, to me, this game could go one of two ways. It's either the Bills win it close, or Denver could actually beat them by double digits.
Yeah, if they beat them by double digits, though, it's going to be much more of a fourth quarter slip away. Like, this will be the first three quarters should be a really close game.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see if the Broski effect, there we go, happens in the fourth quarter. Like, does Broski's words ring true? And in the fourth quarter, Buffalo's just gassed and can't keep up, and Denver pulls away, puts the second score up. It's going to be a good game.
I could see it happening.
So that one's at 3:30 Central, 4:30 from the East, and then the night game. This one's very interesting as well. Oh, you gotta love the temperature thing on this. The 12-5 San Francisco 49ers at the 14-3 Seattle Seahawks at 7 p.m. Central at Lumen Field in Seattle, where it will be a balmy 48.2 degrees according to the NFL.
So that 0.2 degrees left Denver and went to Seattle.
Yep, that's what it did. And that game's going to be on Fox. Divisional game in the divisional round. You got to love it. Look, I didn't even get through the game in JB's. All right, Seahawks win. Yep, go Pack, go on the couch there. Philip, enjoy playing this week. Hey.
Ouch.
Yeah. No, he's not saying there was no chance for Denver. He didn't say that. No, it's not.
I said that I could definitely see it going one of two ways. I didn't say that's the only way it's going to go, but I could definitely see Broski's point about, if Buffalo gasses, they could lose by 10 points. Like, I think that's possible. But I think I really do think that if Buffalo manages to keep it close, that they win by a field goal or win by a score.
So Niners to Seattle. Interesting divisional game, which to me throws a lot of crap out the window. It's a divisional game. You know what I'm saying? To me, a lot of like Kittle. Well, Kittle's hurt. That was who was it said that? JB, right? Kittle's hurt, or no? I'm sorry, it wasn't him. It was
Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando. No Kittle. Well, look, Kittle was out for most of the season anyway. I don't know if you guys ever seen the bench warmer guy, like his reels. He's got the one where every time someone gets hurt, CMC gets stronger. It's hilarious. Go check it out. But I mean, they're used to not, and their backup tight end's actually pretty darn good.
Yeah, that Tonjes guy is pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, look at this team's been duct tape and bubble gum all season, and yet they keep winning. And it's a divisional game. So divisional games are the toughest games, regardless, right? This is the hardest game Seattle could get in the divisional round is a divisional opponent, right? It's a divisional opponent. If they had gotten, let's say, Carolina instead, I wouldn't even be thinking as much about this game. But they did. They got a divisional opponent. That makes this game so much harder. Divisional games. I mean, look at Bears Packers like in 2010. The Bears were what, the 2 seed, right? NFC Championship at home against the 8 seed. The 8 seed wins, or whatever the Green Bay Packers were. I think they were they weren't. Were they the 8 seed? They were the 8 seed. Yeah, they were the 8 seed or the 7 seed, whatever. They were the bottom seed, but it was a divisional game. It threw the rest of that other crap out the window. That's how divisional games are, right? So I mean, San Francisco coming in a little wounded, just playing them 2 weeks ago in Santa Clara. So, they just played each other not long ago. So game planning for this game is a little bit easier, right? They're familiar. That changes things. This is going to be a crazy game. The wind in Seattle is going to be a factor coming off the sound, or could be a factor coming off the sound. Broski, what are you thinking about this Seattle game?
I mean, honestly, like I'm going to give you almost the same breakdown I just did for the Bills Broncos game, and I legitimately think there's a lot of similarities. I think the lack of playmakers on offense for the 49ers is going to catch up to them this game. I just don't think they have enough firepower right now on offense to keep up against that Seattle defense for an entire game. I think all their injuries and everything, it's going to catch up to them this game. I think Seattle pulls away in the fourth quarter, wins by 10 or more.
So the win probability for the 49ers, according to NFL, or the website I'm on, is 25%. Seahawks 74%. But like I said, divisional game, and here's an X factor, Joe, CMC, right?
Well, I think it's obvious that the Niners are gonna. Their only chance really is a heavy dose of CMC, and CMC is going to have a career kind of day. Like, he's in the passing game and in the running game. He's going to have to do it all, really.
Would that shock you to see that type of performance from CMC?
It wouldn't shock me, but it's just Seattle has at least a couple of weeks ago, they had the number 1 defense in the NFL, right? So there's that. Then on top of that, they're like way up there in points per game offensively. And, to me, the Niners' only chance is that they could force Darnold to have one of those Sam Darnold ghost games. Like, that's really their only shot in it for me.
I mean, they definitely don't have much going on in the receiving game right now. They are so depleted. My God. They are so depleted. The Niners, man, like, God. We know Seattle's got a better defense. JB giving me all the obvious facts. We know they're a better defense. It's Seattle. Their defense has been really good this year. Not Legion of Boom, but definitely better than what San Francisco has. But man, divisional game. I just keep coming back to divisional game. To me, it throws a lot of the stuff that we talk about out the window. It's like divisional games are just something different. There's something different about divisional games. I mean, once in a while we get a divisional game that ends up being a complete stinker. Could this be it? Yeah, it could be. Right? I mean, it's possible because you're right. Seattle has a much better defense. They're much healthier. They got a full complement of weapons, compared to San Francisco. But dude, San Francisco didn't get here by luck and chance alone. Like, they do some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, It's hard because like it is a divisional game, and like I could look if there was going to be an upset, this would be it. Like a major upset, this would be it. I think San Francisco win this game would be a major upset. I mean, you got to kind of go with Seattle because on paper you look at go, there's no way Seattle loses this game, right? I mean, is there? I don't. It's hard to fathom a way Seattle loses this game, but then you go, it's a divisional game. Divisional games are strange. They don't go as planned ever.
I just gave you one way. I think if the Niners if Saleh can dial up pressure, consistent pressure on Darnold and get him seeing ghosts, that's really their only chance, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
I'm with
they're
you.
going to have to
Joe.
generate some turnovers. They're going to have to win the turnover battle. They're going to have to run the ball. I do think Juwan Jennings could have a good game. Like, I don't know. Their defense is great, but somebody's going to get some yards. And I think on the Niners, when you look at their receiving core, I think Juwan Jennings would be the one right now that would be. He's like their most reliable guy, in my opinion, right now.
So 2 weeks ago,
Let's not forget Purdy's good for an interception or two lately too. So they're not gonna lose the turnover battle like they did in Philly and win this game. So
yeah, I just said that too. I think they have to win the turnover battle.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, the Seahawks won the game 13-3 in Seattle. I mean, so the Rams kept, and the Niners kept them close in that game. Right, and they were playing for the number one seed, so it wasn't like we're rushing our players kind of game. They were both going at because they both had number one seed aspirations, right? That was a pretty good game. I could see this game going somewhat similar. It was 10-3 at the half, and then 3 points were scored in the second half. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that was in Santa Clara. That wasn't in Seattle. I could see a similar type of game. this week. I think it'll be low scoring. Because it's going to be low scoring and it's a divisional game, anything can happen. I'm going to take Seattle to win this game. They should win this game. But I just want to preface it with that it's a divisional game. It's going to be low scoring and anything can happen.
You know what? And this is just the bitter Packer fan in me talking. Let the Niners go out and have a nice collapse like we did last weekend. If we get a broken heart, let them have a broken heart for once too.
Well, I think the team that would have more of a broken heart would be Seattle if Seattle loses this game because with the phenomenal season they've had this year. This would be a total letdown. Number one seed and be one and done. And they've got that going for them too, Seattle. The number one seed wins 70% of their divisional round games. So they've got history on their side too in terms of win favorability, if you're into that stuff.
So before Broski jumps in real quick, I just want let's do a little brief history lesson here, right? So last year, Sam Darnold is the quarterback of the Vikings. The Vikings finished the season 14-3, right? Sam Darnold has, he's like in MVP
His best
talks.
season ever.
His best season ever. He's in MVP talks, right?
Right.
The Rams, was it the Rams that beat him? They came in and just absolutely
Embarrassed
them with what? A monster pass rush. They just got to Darnold all game long. He never looked comfortable, right? Now, Darnold is with the Seahawks. They're 14-3. And I'm just saying that the history is set up.
There's only one thing I got to throw a monkey wrench in your plan. Do the 49ers have a monster pass rush?
No. That's the thing is like I said, Saleh is going to have to get creative with creating pressure. Like
Saleh has, and look, you got to give Saleh some credit because he's made that defense at times look good, but they don't have can't sustain it. Look what they did against the Bears. The Bears, who for the most part don't play until the second half normally. He got into a shootout with San Francisco, right? Which is Bears fans who are watching that game go, it's 7-7, it's 14-14, it's 21-21. We're matching them, right? And their defense did very little to stop the Bears the entire game. I don't have the faith that he can draw. Saleh is as brilliant as Saleh has been with the Niners this year. I don't know if he can dial it up enough to do that to Darnold. And JB's right. That game for Darnold was on the road last year. Yeah, he's got to get over the ghosts of seasons past this game a little bit. I mean, because look at your last playoff game was an embarrassing one and done with the Vikings. I get it. So he's going to have some first. I mean, I would not be surprised if the Eagles start off a little shaky with him.
The Seahawks, you mean?
Yeah, and
Wrong
that's
bird.
Wrong bird.
but that's really my point with the 49ers. I just think they're lacking ammunition both sides of the ball right now. I just think all these injuries, they need a little more talent. They need a little more everything both sides of the ball to beat Seattle this game.
And with them not having the arsenal that they have, I think they let Darnold kind of settle in. Like if you could get a lot of pressure on him early, like here's Saleh's key to success to winning this game. For a team that doesn't get much pressure to many sacks on a quarterback, they got to harass the living shit out of him the first 2 drives. Like, just harass the out of him. Make him very uncomfortable. They got to throw everything in the kitchen sink, the Golden Gate Bridge, the aircraft carrier that's there in the bay that they have there in San Francisco. They got to bring that with them. They gotta bring the ghost of Niners past, and they got to throw everything they possibly can at Darnold those first 2 drives and not let him get comfortable and make him uncomfortable so that he kind of has, oh my God, this is last year's Rams game all over again kind of thing in his head. If they can do that, they have a shot.
Mhm.
I don't know if they can do that though. Like Seattle, tough game. Look, congrats on the Rams or on the Niners. I'm sorry for getting to this point, but I think that the buck might stop here.
And don't get me wrong, would love to see the Niners win because if Bears beat the Rams, then all of a sudden Bears are hosting the NFC Championship game.
And it's a rematch of a regular season game, which was a classic game. That would be phenomenal. But
Yeah, I have to agree with Broski though, because like when it comes down to it, I was thinking about this too. Like Broski mentioned the lack of offensive firepower, and then now he just brought up the lack of defensive firepower too. Like the Niners have a lot of injuries on defense. If we were talking about them with Fred Warner and Nick Bosa and like all these guys, it would be a different story, I think. But yeah, I do just see them being outmatched on both sides of the ball. Really, like it's going to take an inspired performance for them.
I mean, and they'll probably get an inspired performance to a degree. I think the fact that it's a divisional game actually helps the Niners better because it helps them get up for this game a little bit better. I mean, look, Seattle's going to get up for it too because it's division. It goes both ways. But for in the Niners' case, it's more of a positive for them in terms of like getting up for it because it's like this is our division rivals. We can't lose to them. It's a little bit more than when it's a non-division rival. That's what's going to make this game a little more interesting. If they can keep the score close, they have a chance, right? They have a chance. I mean, look, they're there. They've earned it. They've earned that chance. They've got a chance. And then Warner, did they put him in the window? Warner.
He keeps talking about being possibly available for the game, but we've heard that for the past couple of weeks. So
Hufanga's in Denver. Hufanga's on the Denver defense. But one thing also that I would like, when you're a 14-3 team, this is kind of splitting hairs, right? But Seattle actually had a better road record than a home record.
Yep,
like I know, like I said, it's kind of splitting hairs when you're 14-3. What is that? That means they lost 1 game on the road and 2 games at home out of 8, right? Like, or 9. Like it's kind of splitting hairs, but there was that narrative during part of the season that Seattle is playing much better on the road than they are at home. So could that be a factor in the game too? Maybe. I don't know.
Well, let's go to, we got a little bit of time left, so let's stick into a Sunday game really quick. Weird start time. I don't get the NFL with their start times and the way they've done. Like last week, I had a problem with Monday Night Football for the playoffs. Just stupid. But here we go, Sunday. A 2 p.m. Central start. Like, dude, just make it 3:25 and then make the Bears-Rams at 7:30 like normally on Sunday. But whatever. 2 p.m., the 12-5 Texans travel to the 14-3 New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough will be a balmy, and yes, we got another one of those great weather reports, 33.8 degrees Fahrenheit on ABC ESPN. This should be a really good game.
Well, with
should.
it being that 0.8, that makes it so the Gatorade boys don't need to put the hot hands around the Gatorade to keep it to keep it from getting frozen. So that 0.8 definitely matters, Ken.
Yeah, it must. This look at.
Wait, hold on. So does that mean JB's been watching our show naked? We might need a restraining order now.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ken. We need.
Didn't we just have one of those yesterday on the MMA show?
Not quite as bad as what was on the MMA show.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
frozen.
dude, yeah, it was bad. We had a troll.
Traumatizing.
Yeah, we had a troll.
I was gonna say, JB, make sure you wash your hands, JB.
The rub on the Pats is they didn't play many 500 teams. I get that argument. But then again, you look at the Texans. I mean, they're beatable. They have
I need a restraining order against Orlando.
yeah, no doubt.
You leave my fat guy titties alone.
You know, like the Texans defense. I mean, they got a defense. They got some great guys on that defense. When they had that draft a couple years ago, and they did the back-to-back first-round picks, people were like, "What?" Well, we're seeing it. It's paying off. But offensively, for me, is where the Texans kind of like lose that luster. And it's like you got a really good offense when it gets a really good defense, and then you got a meh offense against a kind of meh-ish defense. I mean, this is going to be—it's a strength versus strength game in a way.
Yeah, Texans. I mean, they don't have much firepower on offense. Then again, like either do the Patriots really. Both teams tough defenses. CJ Stroud, he looked like a rookie against the Steelers. That was the very weird part about that game. They got it together at the end, but dude, if you have 3 turnovers against the Patriots, they're not winning that game. Patriots are a much better coach team. They have a better quarterback. You know, I said the Patriots. I mean the Drake Mays. I just call them the Drake Mays now. It's the New England Drake Mays.
Nico Collins is questionable with the concussion too. If he's out, you know.
Oh, and that concussion he got was a good one.
Yeah, I expect him to be out.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I'm predicting. Damn, it's a tough one. That's a tough one. This is probably the toughest game for me to call. I'm going to go with the Patriots at home. I just think they're going to find a way to get it done. I mean, this game could be a 13-10 game. It really could.
What do you think, Joe?
I think cold weather keeps it low scoring. Like, I think you're going to see playoff rookie Drake May. I think he'll struggle a bit against that Texans defense, but I just don't think that the Texans have the firepower to capitalize on a great defensive performance, and I think they're going to lose by a field goal probably.
Yeah,
I could see again 13-10 game.
Let me jump.
I really
because like the whole playoff rookie thing. You know, Caleb. Look at. I mean, you want to talk about trial by fire for some of these rookie quarterbacks.
13-10.
Caleb's rookie first playoff game was against the Packers, and oh my God, it took everything. It took a super freakish throw on a 4th and 8 to keep them alive and whatnot. And some, you know, he had to do some things. Drake May is going to have to do some things because I think there is some that rookie game. Like, look at the Bears started that game against the Packers with a good drive that came away with only a field goal. I think that's going to have like Drake May has to have something similar. That first drive, he needs to have a good, not spectacular, but just a solid, somewhat solid first drive and get those butterflies out. Because if you do 3 and out, those first 2 drives, let's say for Drake May, it's going to be a long day for It could be a long day for New England. They gotta design a nice, sustainable drive where Drake May doesn't have to do much. A lot of short stuff, a lot of the running game in that first drive to get Drake May into this game where those butterflies of being a playoff game and the speed can kind of slow down for him a little bit. And if they do that, I don't think the Texans can keep up with New England.
Yeah, and I think this game too, just because the Texans' defense is so good, I think you're going to see a lot more running from Drake May that you haven't seen during the season. And I think people either never knew or forgot about how athletic Drake May is, how
Yeah, that dude
fast
can
he is. This
run.
guy can run like a freaking gazelle
Yeah,
out there.
that dude
So
runs.
I think you're gonna see that from him, and they're gonna need that to pull this game out.
For me, one of the big factors in this game is going to be Trevion Henderson. Like, if I'm the Patriots, I want to get him the ball in space. Like, it's going to be hard. You know, the Texans are a good defense, especially against the pass. They're really good against the pass. But if I'm the Patriots, I'm gonna design a lot of halfback swing passes, things like that, to get the ball to Trevion Henderson in open space, dude.
Well, look, you've got another factor here too. A warm weather team that plays in a dome, playing an outdoor game in Boston in January, where it's going to be actually look, they get a favor, right? Because it's not going to be brutal, but dude, it's going to be cold. It's going to be in the low 30. You know, it could. It's probably going to drop. It could, well, it's 33 degrees. They say 33.8. I'm sorry, I got to be accurate, but it's going to be in the low 30s. The wind's an issue. You know, if you've never seen Gillette Stadium, it's right off the water in Boston Harbor. So I mean, the wind's going to be an issue. The weather's going to be an issue for the Texans. It's not going to be as much of an issue for New England. They're used to this shit. So that's going to be a factor too.
Mm-hmm.
I like Drake May better than Stroud. Since Stroud's rookie, oh my God, he walks on water year. He's showing that no, he's human, and he's a pretty decent quarterback, but he's human. Drake May is having his walk on water year. I like May better than Stroud in this game too.
But let's be honest about the Texans, though. Like, part of the reason that Stroud is looking so human is because Tank Dell had the injury that he had. Nico Collins has been in and out and in and out. Like, he really hasn't had a reliable, and their offensive line has been bad. He really hasn't had a whole lot to work with. Like, I think Stroud is better than what he's putting out right now, but the team has some issues, you know.
But those issues, though, I mean, that's you know,
yeah. I'm not discounting the issues. I'm just providing some much needed context for you know why Stroud is underperforming.
We know he's not a rookie, but this is his rookie playoff game. His first playoff game is what is meant by that. Not that no one was saying that Drake May is a rookie. People were saying this is his first playoff game. That's what they meant by rookie playoff game. Like for Caleb, it was his rookie playoff game. His first playoff.
I don't even think didn't he win a playoff game already in the wild card round because Denver had the first seed. Like
Yeah,
he won, but when I said playoff rookie, what I mean is he's still very young and inexperienced in the playoffs, and I just think that could catch up to him a bit. I think that he could struggle a bit.
It did like it did for Stroud in his rookie campaign when they won that wild card game and then went to Baltimore for the divisional.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a similar scenario, except that in this case Drake May has home field, which I think favors Drake May. That definitely favors May being in a home game. Look at, I mean, the weather at this time of year, we tend to forget the weather does impact. That's what I love about there still being outdoor teams in this time of year. The weather impacts. I mean, go ahead, Broski.
I was going to say I'm going to revise my final score prediction for that game from 13-10 to 12-9, all field goals.
There we go. Well, let's get into the last game. We got a few minutes left. We'll spend a little bit of time on this one, more time on it tomorrow. The game that Broski and I care the most about. The 12-5 Rams coming to 11-6 Bears at 5:30 p.m. Central at Soldier Field. Well, right now the projected forecast is going to be the coldest game of the weekend at 17.6 degrees Fahrenheit on NBC and Peacock. They're saying the wind chills for this one will be in the negatives. Which I think this is going to have a huge impact on the game, the weather there. Of course, the Bears are the underdog because why not? We're the underdog in every game. Broski, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, man. I do think the weather is going to have an impact. I think the crowd's going to have an impact. I think, you know, the Bears are going to win in Bears fashion. However, this game, I think they're they're only going to be down a touchdown or less going into the fourth, and then they take over the fourth quarter. And they're going to pull this one out. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get ballsy in my prediction, but I think the Bears are going to take care of business here, man. I do.
Joe?
I become a believer in Caleb at this point, dude. Like I think he's clutch, and I think with the cold, I think you're going to get a heavy dose of Kyle Monangai, and I think that's I think the Bears should run the ball and run the ball and run the ball some more, and I think they pull it out. I'm not going to give a score prediction because it could be low scoring because of the cold. Who knows, man? But if I'm the Bears, I run the shit out of that ball.
So Stafford, record-wise, in the cold, he's 3-3 in games where the temperature is 32 degrees or below at kickoff. That's because remember he did play in the NFC North for a few years. So he's 3-3. One of those games he's won was with the Rams. Which is interesting. I think the weather affects the Rams' game plan a little bit for sure. But they got some good running game. Look, they got a good running game too. JB's like, well, they win by running the ball. The Bears have the best rush offense in the NFC at this point. So if it's a running game, I'm going to give it to the Bears. What do you think there, Ken?
Oh, I think this is going to be another closely fought game because, unfortunately, the Bears do have a good team, and Caleb has shown that he's a legit quarterback. But there ain't no way in hell I'm ever going to take the Bears.
I knew it.
Give me Devontae Adams, once a Packer, always a Packer, to get us a little vengeance.
So on the website it has the Rams win probability 64%, the Bears 36, but in the fan poll it's 61-39 Bears right now.
Yeah.
Which I'm at this point like, look, I'm done. I've already played with house money. I guess I don't know what's next. I guess I'm playing with Packers money at this point. And we're going to talk about this game more tomorrow, but we had enough time, so I shot in today because who knows what kind of weird news the NFL is going to give us tonight to talk about tomorrow. But this Bears team, man, I mean, haven't people learned yet? You can't count them out. You can keep telling this Bears team how they can't do it, yet they keep finding ways to do it. Oh, there's no way you can beat the Packers in the playoffs. Well, they did. Well, you're going to be the underdog in every game but two this year. If you bet against Vegas in terms of the Bears this year, consistently throughout the entire season, you're probably a very rich individual because they were the underdog in every game but two. In the two games they weren't underdogs in, they won. So, when it comes down to turnovers, Stafford doesn't throw many picks. He's got 8 on the year. Caleb's got 7. They're both clutch. They both can, we know Stafford can do Stafford things. I think we can now say Caleb will do Caleb things. He's entering that conversation with the way he's played this year. So you got two quarterbacks who can will their team to victory at the end. We've seen it out of Stafford in the past. We've seen it out of Caleb all year this year. This is I understand why they made this the marquee game of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. And it's an old school, cold weather, divisional round playoff game. I mean, this harkens back to Bears-Rams in 85, where they're at Soldier Field. Now, that was back on AstroTurf, but that's when Dickerson was the rushing leader, and the Rams were going to run all over the Bears, and the Bears end up mollywopping them. This is going to be a fun game. It's got all those elements are in there. All those elements are in this game. I understand why the NFL made this the marquee game of the weekend. I'm not, the Rams could win. Yeah, I mean, look at any one of these 8 teams this weekend.
I don't think anyone's counting the Rams out.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Mean, there's NFC North fans, the Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings. They're all counting the Bears out because, well, that's what they do, being NFC North fans, and it's just hating on the Bears and being homers, and that's cool. That's cool. I get it. But I mean, this is a Bears team. People discount it all year. There's no reason they can't win this game. But you know what? We'll let JB lament on that while he talks about his team that's on the way to Cancun. He's up in about 20 seconds. Be back here tomorrow. We're going to talk more about this Bears game tomorrow, whatever else the NFL sends us. You guys enjoy your Thursday. I'm going to go watch the new Star Trek show. Live long and prosper.
We're the